All right. Hi, I am Pam from Bay Horse Yarn. And this would have been my very first year to be in person as a vendor at Lambtown. So I'm sad that we're not all together, but happy at the same time that we're all at home being safe. We don't have to wear masks and foggy glasses, which we all struggle with. I am based in Northern California. I'm in Brentwood, which is in the far East Bay. I've been dyeing for about 2 years. And I think my dyeing journey started like most people in my hometown or surrounding towns. There's only the big box stores to go and buy yarn. You know, either you're going to Michael's, you're going to Hobby Lobby, Walmart, or Joann's, and all you can find is, you know, polyester or nylon, things that can be a little scratchy. I tend to be really sensitive wearing anything other than superwash or superwash mixed with nylon. So that's kind of how I got started dyeing yarn. I wanted to have just a better choice other than going to get what everyone else has. So I carry lace weight in the form of mohair and silk. I've got about 4 different sock weights. I carry a blend of superwash nylon that comes in 4-ply, 2-ply twist, and then I also have 100% superwash, and those are all 19.5 microns, super soft, next to your skin. I can definitely wear it and not break out in hives or be itchy. I carry 2 DKs and also bulky, and those are all, again, either 100% superwash or a blend of nylon and superwash. Let's see, I started getting into crocheting a couple years ago. My daughter she was an eventer, so she would jump horses over high stadium jumps and in fields over logs and into water. And I found myself being really nervous and anxious. So I started to learn how to crochet to calm my nerves a little bit. And so that's where the name Bay Horse comes from. We do have a horse. He is Bay, which is a cherry brown color. Let's see.
And I saw that you had a horse-related organization that you donate some of your proceeds to.
I do. Just this year, I started donating to Brook USA. And what they do is they donate to mostly third world countries where people are still using donkeys or equines as far as supporting their families. So they will bring vets into third world countries to help teach proper vetting. They'll give dental clinics. They'll provide vaccines. They'll help with food. A lot of animals are still used to work, basically, in those third world countries. And I know right now they have a great fundraiser going to help people that have been affected on the West Coast with all the different fires up here. It's a lot of animals have had to be evacuated. People are losing tack. They don't have food to feed their animals. It's hard for them 24/7. They're out in the air that we haven't been able to breathe, unfortunately. So, and I know it's super dangerous for their lungs. In fact, UC Davis recommends you don't really do anything with your animals until they've had at least 2 to 3 weeks of clean breathing air, because it'll just damage their lungs so much.
Yeah, and we barely got that much of a break if you had 2 or 3 weeks.
At least today in the East Bay, it's beautiful today, finally. Yeah. So I'm not sure where it is, what it's like.
I have a request here for you to let us know about the piece that you're wearing, and I see another sample and some yarn behind you if you want to.
Sure. The piece that I'm wearing, so it is a crochet cowl, and this is actually done in my dapple gray color, and this is DK. So I don't knit. I had an injury a couple years ago where I've got bursitis, and I've had a couple different surgeries on my elbows, and I still can't quite pick knitting up, so I'm definitely a crocheter. But what I like about this is sometimes crocheters are worried about how speckled yarn or hand-dyed yarn will look in a project, but this, a cowl has such nice variants that a speckled is not a problem. And I've also got another sample of, this is, this actually kind of has a knit look to it, but this is crochet. This is a pattern by the Velvet Acorn. It's her Meadow Slouchy cap, and it's held double. It's a sock with my mohair base, and it gives it that nice kind of fluffy sheen to it.
I love that you have crochet samples. I'm a knitter and a crocheter, and we just
right
don't see that much.
And then I've got behind me, if you've seen me at a trunk show or maybe in person before, this is the Starting Point wrap by Joy Locatelli. And I do carry these kits on my website. This is a super popular one. And again, this is all in my show horse sock base, which is 85% superwash, 15% nylon. So I dye mostly semi-solids, some speckling, and some variegated. I try to take things out of nature or horse-related colors that usually inspire me. Let's see.
Yeah, I love that dapple gray because it looks like a dapple gray.
It does. It does. Yeah. And they start out life really, really dark, and then they lighten up as they age, just like people with their hair color.
Right. And Francesca wanted you to repeat the name of that cowl pattern and maybe the base yarn.
The one in my, I'm going to apologize. I don't have this one, but I would be happy to post it on my social media. Okay. I want to say it's a free pattern that I probably got off Ravelry. And if you do follow me on Instagram, I have the pattern name on there. And I can't access it right now without closing my app out.
Yeah, that's easy. So look up Behar on Instagram, scroll a bit, should find it pretty easily.
Yeah.
And that actually brings me to another good question. What's a good way for people to keep in touch with you? Do you do an email newsletter? Instagram?
I'm not super spot on with the email newsletter. This is, kind of a part-time gig for me, but follow me on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram. You can find my products on bayhorseyarn.com. And I kind of pulled just a couple of the more fall colors behind me, but I definitely have tons of stock right now. And part of the show special, I'm actually running, I've got a couple pre-selected kits that I put together, and I'll just show you a couple. I've got some fun beanie kits that I put together, so you can actually get a skein of bulky and a pre-selected beanie to go together.
Oh, fun.
And this is the color I posted yesterday. This is Autumn Market. You can see him up close. And then I've also got just a couple of I've got a couple of DK kits and a couple of sock kits, but I did put in, if you wanted to do the other cap like the Velvet Acorn that I had, this is actually Eucalyptus Grove, which is kind of a green with some yellow and some brown in it, and then one mohair, and this is done in sweetgrass. So this would be enough to do that cap that I had on. So I've got these on just for the weekends. Little discounted fun little tidbits if you're not familiar with me. And like Brooke was saying earlier, it's hard if you haven't seen us in person to know what the product feels like. It's kind of one of the fun things about going to festivals is to be able to feel what you're buying ahead of time.
Yeah, I agree. It can be tricky, but I have to say the photos on your website are really great.
Thanks, Kira.
Not only can I see the colors, but I can imagine what things feel like. They do look very soft. They have that squishability where I just want to reach into the computer screen and squish the skeins.
Right. And I also do have project bags. Mm-hmm. I've got totes or drawstring bags. And these are a mom brag moment for me. My daughter is a studio artist, and she designed and screen printed these for me.
Oh, they're so cute. I love the little skein of yarn as the mane. looking like
Thank
it's
you.
all
She did my logo as well. And once in a while, I'll put some of her items on. She's actually, her concentration is ceramics. And so we've actually been talking about doing some things in the future as far as adding some additional things for Christmas. And I'll load those onto the website as well.
Great.
So.
Right. If anyone has any questions for Pam, you can put them into the Q&A. We've got a little bit of time left, and then we'll be heading into Warner Mountain Weavers coming up next. So, oh, this is so nice. Somebody very helpfully found that cowl pattern.
Oh, thank you.
And posted a link. So it's apparently
thank you so much.
Cowl by Little Monkeys Crochet.
Thank you so much. And I am available if someone wants to shoot me a message and they want to see any colors paired together. I'm happy to take a picture and send it to them. Again, without being there in person, you know, that can make it tough.
Yeah, that's great that you're kind of, I think all of us are trying to figure out how to make that connection because we can't in person. But again, your photos and your website, super clear. We're getting some comments about people loving the palette of yarn colors behind you.
Thank you.
I agree. It also looks like they would all go together in like any combination.
Thank you.
Close your eyes and grab two skeins and make something fun.
Right, right. Definitely. And this is let me grab this one. This is a super popular one too. This is my Barnwood colorway. And he's got a lot of red and brown speckling on him if you're a big speckle fan.
Yeah, that's great. And just to kind of go back to what you said before for crochet, I think that's wonderful because highly variegated yarns are hard to crochet with, but gradients and speckles and your tonal semi-solids are wonderful for knitting, crochet, and any fiber art really. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Well, let's see. We've got a quiet group today, but I can ask one more question because that's what we've got time.
Okay.
How long have you been a vendor at Lambtown Festival?
Oh, this would have been my first year.
Oh, wow.
So I've attended before. So this was getting me my first festival. I've done trunk shows at stores. I have a couple of wholesale accounts, and you can find locally. You can find me at the Black Squirrel in Berkeley. And I had some yarn there at Stitches and Chase's booth. So
that's where I've seen you before. I was
Chase
thinking that
Chase is great. She is so supportive of all the indie dyers in the area. She's fantastic.
I agree. Chase is a good friend of mine, but she's wonderful with that focus on the indie dyers and really knowing about everyone whose yarn is in her store. She knows them personally, has a story, really good about kind of building that community vibe that we all love. Sure. Wonderful. So I guess the last question is, what's coming up next for you? Do you have anything exciting and new that you're planning?
I do think that I have applied for, an online, there's a lot of groups trying to do online fiber festivals, and I have applied for another one for Thanksgiving weekends, just a big shopping event. I'm not sure if I've been accepted, but that one I'm actually going to collaborate a little bit with my daughter and try and do a mix of, ceramics and more yarn and probably some new colors. And if we don't get into that one, we might just do our own Facebook Live. Yeah. So that'll be fun. She's got mugs, and she actually does super cute little pumpkins. She makes these. She makes a lot of stuff. So other than that, it's hard because we're not really sure when things are going to be open and back to normal here. Yeah. Well, I think it's lovely that you've got a creative family and kind of working together on so many things. That's really nice. Right. So I've posted in the chat a link to bayhorseyarn.com so people can take a look at that. And then also in the Lambtown app is a great place to look as well. And Pam, thanks so much for joining us. Okay. I'm going to put you back to being an attendee in case you want to hang out and keep an eye on things. And lovely to talk to you. Okay. Thanks, everyone.